Hi, Jessica. It's nice to meet you. I'm Avery. I'm
Hi.
a social worker here. Before we begin, I want to thank you for coming in. And I just want to tell you a little bit before we start about confidentiality. Um, Everything we say in here is confidential unless you tell me that you're going to harm yourself or someone else. So, why don't you begin by telling me what brought you in today?
Well, my boss suggested that I come talk to you guys because I'm a single mom. I have 4 children, and I keep losing my job because I have to pick them up from school if they're sick, or I'm always doing something for my kids, and so I keep losing my job. So they are firing me, but um, they suggested that I come and speak to you guys or speak to somebody about it.
Okay. Um, So what I hear you saying is that you are worried about getting fired because you're having to help your children. Is basically my
Right.
understanding of it.
So basically, yeah, I keep losing my job, so they think I need to do something different because it's just keeps happening no matter what job I have, and I lose that one. It's like because it's gonna happen. It feels like it's only a matter of time because I have to leave and I have to call out and stuff like that because of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. Um. So. Mm, okay. So how how do you how do you feel about that, about them wanting to fire you because you're taking care of your children?
I mean, I understand, but I'm like, I don't like. It's like not fair, but at the same time, understand because they obviously need somebody to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like I don't know what to do. I don't know, like, it's like what do you? That's pretty much what I'm like. What do you want me to do? I feel like it's not fair, but at the same time, I understand their side of it too.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, I can find a solution, and I have no idea what that is. So
Okay. Um, so let me ask you this. If you were to go to bed tonight and during the middle of the night a miracle occurred and they didn't want to fire your work didn't want to fire you anymore, and they were understanding, like what would and you woke up and so what would be different?
um, well, I probably have either someone helping me with my children, um, whether it's husband or family, or I would have someone who would be there when something happened, like if my child got sick or I had to stay home from work because they were sick. Um, that's what would be different, probably.
So if you had help, then it would be easier for you to be able to go to work and not have to worry about your children. I think is what I'm hearing you say. Um, okay. Um, so your what would the future look like if you could keep your job and still take care of your children and not have to worry about losing your job, what would that look like to you?
It would be awesome. I wouldn't have to always stress about, caring for my kids and keeping my job. I wouldn't have to always, that's always on my mind, like, oh my gosh, are they getting sick again? Oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my job. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't be stressed out all the time. I would be happier. I would be, more not as, worried all the time and feel pressured all the time and stressed out. And
Okay, so you'd be less stressed and more calm, maybe?
mm-hmm.
Okay. So what are some things that you've done in the past that possibly worked beforehand?
Like not to be stressed or with the situation or
Mm-hmm.
like
Before this situation occurred, what were some things that you would use to not be stressed, to not be worrying about your children, or just not being overwhelmed?
well before their father passed away, or they well, actually after he passed away, I started going to church, and I had a lot more peace then.
Mm-hmm.
And seemed to help me get through prayed a lot and stuff like that, but we haven't been going.
So the church was a very good support system for you. Okay. And before their father passed away, you had more support through him, I'm guessing.
I was more connected with him and his side of the family as well.
Okay.
They were a really big help.
Okay. So let me ask you this. If you were to get help, if you were to get someone there to help you, on a scale from 0 to 10, 0 being there's no way that I would be able to do this by myself, and 10 being yes, I feel accomplished that I can do this by myself, how confident do you feel that you could be there and help your children?
To get someone to help me, or
to get someone to help you.
Probably about a 4.
A 4? Okay. What could you do to possibly make that maybe even a 6 or even higher than that?
I could probably reach out to that side of the family more, because I'm not that close to them, but I mean that is their it is their grandchildren and their nieces and nephews.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I guess I could call them and talk to them and see if maybe they could help me some.
Okay. And what's making you not be a 2 or a 3?
Probably because I know that I mean, I know that that things are available. It's just having to sacrifice and let go of pride and that kind of thing. And so I know my children are more important than that. So,
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, it sounds like to me that you really care about your children. You really care about their well-being. And so why don't I do this? What's one thing that you think that you could do to accomplish this goal before our next appointment, before the next time we meet? Do you think?
I could probably call their aunt and their grandmother from that side of the family, and maybe kind of fill them in and give them the opportunity to possibly help out.
Okay. Well, that sounds like it's a good, a good thing that we are gonna possibly try that and see how that works out. So maybe we could possibly maybe meet next Tuesday and discuss and see how that goes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
it was very good to meet you.
You too.